begin by opening up the energy in our space. Calling in the higher light, releasing the lower vibrational energy within the room, and opening up our portal above the table. And allowing that higher frequency light to begin to flow in, coming down in through the roof, cleansing the ceiling above us and the walls, all the corners. Moving that light down into the floor and through all furniture, especially corners or areas that don't get a lot of light or attention. We bring this light to them now. And moving this plasma light down through the air within the space. And expanding the light out around the building, down into the ground, and making a big bubble of this light around us. And bringing this golden plasma light now into our energy fields. And cleansing all the layers of our energy bodies. And weaving like mesh any holes, rips, or tears in our fields. Disengaging attachments or entities, moving them off and away into the light. And letting the light flow down into the bodies, physical bodies, through the skin, through the energy centers, down into the muscles and joints, filling the skeletal structure with light, and moving the light into the blood, into all of the organs, and asking the blood to circulate this beautiful plasma energy around the body. Asking that with every breath we take, we're breathing in this higher light. Allowing the lungs to circulate oxygen filled with this energy. And bringing this light into the nervous system, into the central nervous system along the spine and all of the branches. Cleansing the electrical path and light up into the brain, into all of the glands. collagen repairing glands, tissue, synapses. And we'll light now into the water held within the body. And we'll program this water within our bodies with Sarah's intention. So you can repeat. I invoke my I am presence.
I invoke my I am presence.
And my intention for this session is.
And my intention for this session is.
Go ahead.
To unleash the blocks in my throat chakra.
To unleash the blocks in my throat chakra.
And sacral chakra.
And sacral chakra.
So that I may step into the full essence of my being.
So that I may step into the full essence of my being.
And manifest the life that I know I'm supposed to be living.
And manifest the life that I know I'm supposed to be living. And so we ask that all water molecules within our bodies be programmed with this beautiful intention. And we'll bring this intention into the nervous system and allow the continual programming of this intention throughout this session. Also asking this intention to move into the DNA, into the mitochondria within the body, and I ask this intention to move through the DNA backwards and forwards in time. As the DNA creates the blueprint of the past may be changed with a strong intention, and the blueprint of the now and the future, which we know is all the same, may also be programmed. And through the heart, we send this intention up on a pillar of light, bringing this pillar of light up through the portal and allowing whatever movement of this intention within the light molecules to occur, sometimes spiraling and sometimes moving straight. And the light moving up and out. And as this light moves towards its place in the sun, the intention is also being spread out into the atmosphere around the planet. And programming any molecules within the atmosphere that may help to create the opening space and timeline for this intention. And to begin to work in altering the 3D, 4D energies and writing the blueprint for the movement forward for this intention to occur. And as we move into the heart of the sun, we ask Gaia to send her energy up through our hearts, She is also wrapping this energy around us, all of us within this room. And she's extending this energy into our space, into our plants, our house, our cars. And then bringing it up through us, up into the sun. She says, "Hello, friend. It's nice to be invited once again." And as their energy blends, we see our doorway opening. And our friends gathering on the other side. Sarah's teams of light and highest frequency. All of her many guides and star family members. Her fairies. Her angels. All the many masters. All the many incarnations of her soul that have been and will be, who are here to shed light and guidance. And they gather with Taryn's teams of the same. The higher self step forward and ask that we allow our soul energy to move through them for this journey. Stepping into our higher selves. And allowing all beautiful energy to flow backwards through our pillar of light into our bodies as the session progresses.
May I ask a question?
Yes.
Well, first, I don't know if it feels clear who we're speaking with, but I would like to know why I have pain inside of my neck, and if it's related to this, infection that I'm going through, and or the trauma, and or probably both, and will my voice, I'm a little bit concerned about doing this next show if it's for a couple hours. I feel like if I clear this, is it an energetic clearing or a health clearing?
If you clear the pain, or?
Yeah, there's it's like a choking or sensation or trouble swallowing, which it feels like it's a health thing, but I don't know if it's an energetic thing or if there's some kind of health thing that I should be taking or doing that I'm not already doing. I feel like this helped, when I was taking a bath, it was like a message from my guides or somebody. So I don't know who that was or if that's on the right path.
That what was a message?
The seek help.
I see. You get many messages. These are the moments that you have a thought or feel an inspiration or a drawing or calling towards something. This may be remedies of some kind, such as the baking soda, the seek help, the magnesium, the acidophilus, these kinds of things. This is connected to your aspects who are the medicine people. We don't say woman in this case because, as you have discovered in another session, you have been a medicine woman and may be in this lifetime still, but you have also been medicine men. This is a powerful aspect of your soul frequency. You have helped yourself and many others in this way through many lifetimes. This is why you are drawn to these types of remedies. We would like to explain just a little bit about this in saying that there is an aspect of this that is third dimensional, wherein the remedies are a third dimensional representation of the energetic clearings that you are talking about. As you know, there is really no difference between the energy and the physical body. They are just two separate versions of the same thing. So all ailments are both energetic and physical, as you know, and they are indicators pointing to something you want from the higher self or team of light perspective. You want your focus to be drawn to this area for something. Whether that is a cleansing or a removal of attachments or an upgrade or love. It depends on the area, and in these questions we will take one at a time. So let's begin with the question about the throat and the neck. Many on the planet right now, such as all of you here, are having this experience of pain in the neck and choking and swallowing issues and all of these very dramatic, uncomfortable feelings. There's a combination of reasons for this. You have all been silenced. You have been silenced for so long, and your DNA carries much trauma about this silencing. The higher frequency light that is flowing into the space now, into your planetary space, is reversing this situation, as well as you yourselves are reversing the situation. You are now opening your mouth and declaring your intentions. And many of these intentions have gone against what you have been doing or what you have been programmed to be doing. So there is some dissonance there. Until the old programming is fully gone, every time you try to open your throat, you are also fighting through the closing of your throat. Does this make sense?
Yeah, so it's overworking.
Yes, it's like trying to open a door that has something pushed against it from the other side. So, in this sense, the clearing is the most important part. First, to fully understand why you don't want to say things, why you feel blocked from saying things, and forcing your throat open when you still have some of these things pushing against it. It's a strain. So this has to be sort of a gentle process where you allow the recognition of the block and you work with it, and then you open a little bit more. Because you are all such powerful light workers, you push yourselves. You have a remembrance of being on the other side where these blocks do not exist and where they don't even really make sense. So it's as if your brain is split in two about these things. We suggest looking from both perspectives simultaneously in order to come from both directions. This way you can remove the block on the one side of the door while you are standing on the other side of the door and watching it open. The physical actions that you take of such things as the remedies and the breathing and the thinking about what it is that caused the block in the first place, these are from the side of the door that is blocked. From the side of the door that the higher self stands on, you may also just visualize, as you know, that there is no block, that the door is open and light is shining through.
Like the freedom codes.
Yes.
Like for example, I wanted to do this show, and I've gotten all these keys and messages and real life instances where this person showed up, and then this person showed up, and I met this person, and then I went to this show here. So everything, I feel like my old self, my younger self, would have been like, okay, well, I'm definitely going to do that. But then I have some kind of like fear or resistance holding me back. And then the thoughts are, what if my voice isn't strong enough to do a 2-hour set? What if this isn't? Maybe I'm too tired right now. Or like all these resistant thoughts, which I feel like, in my more freeing, like the freedom code self, like when you're in your younger 20s, where you just feel like you just want to try everything. And I want to open that back up again. And it's not about an age thing. It's not like, oh, I'm older now. It's the resistant thoughts that are now there that I feel like were easier to fight off when you're younger.
This is a very interesting concept of the younger and the older, because it represents something that is actually happening very powerfully on the planet right now. Is you have younger souls and older souls that are in the same space, and they are essentially working for the same outcome, but they come from different perspectives. The younger souls, they, as you say, have less built up resistance because they have not experienced as many physical blocks or temporal blocks, but they also have a lack of wisdom, you might say, and introspection, something that the wiser souls do possess. So when you are a younger soul and you are trying these things, you have more daring energy, more freedom feelings, but you also have less common sense. So when a teenager gets into a car, they are so excited to drive this car, and they feel free and they feel like they can fly and do anything until they have their first accident. When they bump into a curb or run over a trash can or something more dramatic, these experiences then give them more context and allow them to begin to develop the wisdom part of their beingness. So we are suggesting that you feel into these thoughts and find which parts you can embrace and which parts you can release in order to integrate this young feeling of freedom and excitement with also this wiser sense of what is truly good for you and appropriate. We don't suggest pushing yourself in a way that the older part of your soul says no. But we also don't suggest allowing that older part to be lazy or we are not finding the word, but to
like not acknowledge the resistant thoughts.
Well, the older part can also lose some of this fun feeling, this inspiration that the younger part has. So it is an interesting process of finding a way to integrate this excitement and courage and fun feeling from the younger self with the wisdom of knowing one's boundaries and knowing what is the right path to send the energy down. We see many young ones sending their energy in all directions to willy-nilly crazy, this side and that side and forward and backward and all over the place. When you get a little more wisdom, you tend to see, well, this path will eat up my energy and not give much back to me. So I will not send my energy down that path. I will send it in this direction because I have wisdom enough to know that this direction will nurture my energy and feed back to me what it is I am looking for. So when you evaluate a situation like this show that you're talking about, really, is this something that will give you back the right energy? And is it coming from the wisdom place of, yes, this is a path where my soul will grow and will feel like it has expanded itself? Or is it looking at the path from the younger self of wanting to have pushing the self or fulfilling the ego or some of these younger, less integrated places? And we know that you know that the fame timeline was a big part of the performing aspect of the soul in this lifetime. And so as that is being integrated, the wisdom is growing and blossoming.
So when you're younger, your energy's all scattered and everywhere. Then you get older and then it kind of gets more of a tunnel vision, so things become more important. But yeah, I think with the shows in particular, we have done so many shows and some of them have not been that beneficial. They've been a lot of work and not, so I think, yeah, that answers my question.
Very good. And we like the conversation that you had recently where you were talking about pick your battles. This is, from a war kind of terminology, but it applies here. It's think about it before you do it, and don't just fling yourself down the path, but don't allow the thinking to stop your energy either. You must make a choice, feel that it is a good choice, and then start down that path. And as you go down that path, you still are aware enough to read the signs. If the signs are coming in as you begin down this path that this is good, you continue. If you see some signs showing up that this is maybe not the best direction, then you take a step back.
So
it is
the procrastination is what you were trying to maybe say. It's like laziness, but it's conscious procrastination.
Yes, and maybe anxiety, because as people, like if we take the instance of the teenager who was having so much fun in the car and then had a big bang, that could cause a trauma, so that person might then have anxiety in the future about being in the car, and this anxiety might overwhelm. It might be too much of a reaction to the situation. So you can take the information of having the bang and driving a little slower or watching where you are going without it creating this anxiety in the body and in the energy field. And in this way, you allow the information and knowledge to come in without bringing all of this extra drama to it. So if you think of it like, you can always stop where you are, and you can always turn around, or even not turn around, but just look in a different direction and create a new path. Because remember, all of these paths are being created by you. And as you take a step onto a path, if it does not feel right, don't blame yourself. Oh, I went down the wrong path and this was so stupid. You don't do that. You say, this is not what I thought. I will just create a new path. So I turn over to the left and I say I would like the path to be made of stones instead of sand or something like this. And now I will try this one and step forward. I would like to put a nice lantern here and some plants as I walk down this path. Or on this one, I would like to be walking next to the river. It does not matter because you are creating it. You just have to be in the flow.
Go.
And with the medicines, we would like to add that they are all beautiful representations of taking care of yourself, of your body and your energy, and loving yourself. And as we talked about in the session where you asked about the numbers, the number signs, what does this number mean? It means what you want it to mean. The sign is you checking in with you. And every time you do this, you become more and more present and more of a creator. So as you take the medicine, you are programming your body to have a specific reaction. Those who are eating all of the junk food and doing this very unconsciously are allowing their experience to be guided by outside advertisements. What you do when you stop and take control over your body and the things that you put in, it's from a 3D perspective, it is choosing health and wellness. From an energy perspective, it is putting yourself back onto your higher self path. And it does not really matter the medicine. The medicine is just a tool to focus your energy. So the sea kelp, this is very interesting because it connects you to the sea. It connects you to the depths of the Gaia given playground that is the ocean on your planet. It talks about the deep waters of your body. It talks about being in tune with the natural elements of the earth. It brings you back to being loved by the Mother Gaia. And when you do these things, you pull her energy into you, and you are asking her to help you, and she is responding to you. So this is why the natural medicines are so beautiful, because they bring this energy to you. And each one of these may enter into the body in a different way. You may bring the salt into the waters of the body. You may bring the magnesium into the bones, and the green, like the chlorella, into the guts. All of these things are made from the earth, who was always your provider of health. And so as you take these medicines or these herbs or these loving elements, you love yourself in different ways. And this is really how we would look at this, is just giving yourself a little bit of playfulness, of I will do this for this. But really, you might just breathe. You could just take in sunshine. You could just drink water. It does not really matter. As long as the energy and the intention is vibrant within you, these things will help. And the neck, as you know, is connected to the throat energy. And as the light comes in, the spine is being readjusted in all of you. The spine was twisted and broken and bent in many of you by simply living on this twisted and broken and bent planet. And as all of these energies are clearing and things are becoming more aligned, there will be some discomfort as the spine and the organs come back into alignment. So the best advice, and as you know, this is a grand experiment where the bodies are shifting while the being is still in it. Normally this process happens over generations, but in this time and space the process is happening in the body. So rather than dying and leaving and then coming back into a new upgraded body, which is what usually happens, you are now doing the upgrading while you stay. This is very difficult, as we have said before, and we commend you for being a part of this part of the experiment. And you are all so brave and doing this so courageously. And it is with love that your body is adjusting. If you did not feel any discomfort or pain or shifting, we would say you're probably not doing it right. And that's a joke because, of course, you don't really have a choice, but you would be preventing the shift. As you shift, you feel things shifting. This is where you are now. And just being okay with this shifting and just trusting your teams and higher self that they have your back and they will send the light into the right places if you allow them to. And the best thing that you can do to speed this process up is to ask them and to ask yourself and the sun and the central sun and the source. Send the light into my throat now. It needs a little bit of adjusting. And then breathe and visualize this light coming in and relaxing the tense parts and releasing the tightness and shifting the bones and allow the realignment. We come to the stomach and the pelvis now. Is this where you would like to go at this moment?
Yes, thank you. And thank you, that was a nice message for the throat. It reminded me of Tally when she was working with me. And I do feel like I did ask Gaia for help too, and I think that was very true that she sent me the sea kelp.
Yes. You and Gaia work together quite a lot. This is part of your medicine person aspect. The respect for Gaia's wisdom has been very deep in your DNA. You are quite programmed to be open to her voice and to her signs. And she appreciates this because there are many who don't even recognize her. They live on her and they don't even know her. And the ones who do, she's giving much love right now. She is hoping that you will help the others remember her, and that you will guide them into the new phase of working with her again. It used to be that almost everybody worked with her, whether it was your farmers or your astrologers or the sea people who were on the ships sailing around, and they navigated by the stars and they read the oceans. And people have been taken from Gaia. They have been separated from her by the cement and the walls. These are not real things. These are fake constructs of the dark energy. You are no longer held within these walls, and you will see these walls and cement streets begin to crumble and disappear, and you will walk again on the grass and the sand and the dirt, and you will see the animals again. And as you interact with the animals, you are interacting with Gaia too.
Yeah, I thought that.
She works through them.
Yeah, I can see it in Riku's eyes.
Yes, he loves her so much. And she provides so much playful energy for him. We are so happy that he is having this experience of being outside with Gaia and all of her friends. And he brings this energy to you all. He reminds you that she is your safety. The dark programming tried to make people feel unsafe outside. It tried to make them hide within their walls and interact with the AI, the technology only. We do not say that this is entirely bad or evil. We only say that it is a man-made or made representation, copy of those planets and stars and things that already exist that are source made. When you make a copy or a recreation, you are attempting to copy a source, but it never really is the same, is it? When you watch a movie about being on a ship, it is nicer than sitting and staring at a wall, but it is not as nice as being on the ship. We ask you to visualize the life that you live outside of the walls, and allow the walls to pull in Gaia's energy so that you are inside and also outside with her at the same time. Like the tree house, the houses that were made from aspects of her. You may visualize this kind of place in the place that you already are. You may transform your walls and your ceilings and your floors into aspects of her. You may even open your ceiling and look at the stars as you sleep, as you fall asleep. You may bring your consciousness back out into reality. For many of you have been living in a false matrix, as you know, that was not even a 3D reality. It was a 2D reality. So low, such a low vibration for you. You all are at least 5th dimensional, if not way higher connected. So of course you feel bored and annoyed at your life because you are living in a dimension so much lower than the one that you resonate with. And so we are not telling you to do something drastic and crazy like run around outside and live in a tent. But we are saying start thinking in these ways again. Remember that the trees are your friends. They are your protectors. They are here to interact with you, to give you shade, to give you wisdom. And it goes the same for all aspects. The flowers, they each tell you something. The different leaves and bushes, they all have a message or an energy. And all of these things are so good for you. So you may just think about them, or you may just notice them as you drive or as you walk. And as you do this, you transform the blueprint of your reality, and you create for your next step a place more connected and less in this false matrix. There is a message coming in about the pain in the hip. This is nothing to worry about. This is connected to the extra walking that the body was doing. This one pushes herself very hard, and she was so distracted as a younger one that the pain did not really affect her as much back then, but that is not to say she did not feel this pain. She did, but she ignored it. Now she is much more connected, and so she is more present. The pain presents itself at the time that it is necessary to give the message. And now as she is present with this, she can say, oh, I was walking a lot more than I normally did for a while, and so my hip is sore. And I don't need to worry about it because it is really simple as that. It will go away as I rest because my body is an amazing tool that heals itself if I allow it to. And as I sit in the bath and I connect with the water and the Epsom salts, which bring in the Gaia energy, this will heal my muscles and my joints. And anything that is stuck or painful will flow into the water and down into the drain. Any situations that are going on in the digestive system, these are connected to anxiety. Taryn is feeling the anxiety run through her body. Hold on. The heart begins to race a little bit, and then the stomach tightens. This is an old mechanism of the body. When the animal was chasing the person's heart went boom, boom, boom. And it brought all the energy to the systems that needed to run, get away, fight. This state was meant to be a protector and a temporary situation, not a permanent one or a frequent one. If you lived outside, you might encounter this situation once or twice, depending on your activities. But not every day. You're not running from a lion every day. So the body was not conditioned to be in this type of stress energy all the time. This is another thing that you are all dealing with, is releasing the pattern of stress and anxiety that was created by this dark matrix. You were living in this perpetual state, which brought your energy way down and dispersed it in all different directions and made you tired and a little bit crazy. All of this is now shifting and allowing this flow to release this stress. And this body talking is doing the breathing because it is trying to release the feeling of the racing heart and the stress. When the body breathes, it exhales the stress, and the guts may release the tension. As this process continues, you will find it a strange feeling because you are so used to being tight and wound up in stress and anxiety that you will feel like something is weird, but you will soon move into the space where your body recognizes that this is no longer appropriate for your situation. As these stressful elements of the old matrix disappear, you will have a period of time where you still contain this pattern in your physical body, and you might find yourself creating stress just to give an excuse as to why you feel the way you feel. But really, it is just the old energy that doesn't know where to go or how to flow. You can find new ways of moving the body and breathing and doing your relaxation practices that allow this energy to move out and away from the stomach, to move out and away from the solar plexus and the heart, to move this energy out into your field so that your field may circulate this energy instead of holding it within the body. You are also expanding your fields. You were made to keep your fields very small because there were we could say dark detectors of large energy fields. And these dark detectors would target those with the large energy. And you experienced this as light workers, being targeted. As soon as you felt expanded and happy, something would happen to shut you down again. This was part of the black box programming, as you say, where it was like the AI was looking for you, and if you expanded too much, it sent shockwaves into you and shut you down again. We are so sad for this, and these ones will not go without repercussions for this behavior, because they were interrupting the free will of these beautiful beings. But we are trying to express that this is ending now, subsiding, but you are still scared to expand your field because you have been conditioned into this response. It will feel odd when you expand your field and you don't get shocked anymore. But we say, please practice this and be aware that as your field expands, there is nobody coming to get you. Except maybe the old pattern.
What does that mean?
The habit within your body. It's like as you have seen the MK Ultra process, where they conditioned somebody through pain to expect something terrible to happen if they did something bad or against the master. You could kill the master and the slave would still act as though the master was there punishing them, even when the master was gone. This is because this one was conditioned into this behavior and it became locked within the fields. So we are asking you to recognize, as the masters are dispersed and dealt with, that it is now up to you to recognize that you are no longer in need of this pattern, and you have the authority to disperse this energy now and to allow these slave patterns to disappear. Finding the frequency of sovereignty and authority within your own being and recognizing truly that you are the power, that you are the channel, that you bring the light, and nobody and nothing can stop this anymore. Do you have other questions for us?
No, I think we're good.
Would you like us to do a little language, or are you good?
We could do some language, maybe into my hip and my neck.
Okay, which hip?
On the left side.
Shianak tu ai yaka tiara tomai kanya shonto. Ivana kawa tiano koras yatanam bianco daisa. Yes. kian no yan son do yan do and I cannot. Even I kia do yes on I at the yakamo and I na the west on the tiana do yakanata. When I had tiaran to yan tayo. Kiara tayo siya tuwara matuwakay sa to. Pabanat siya to niyata makaya sa to yata yakaya ta. Piyana siya to yan niyata yakaya na yasya tayo. Even a kiata and to naya to yankayan yanatana and tiano tima kanatayata. Nayan to and tiana to yankayatayat. Wana piako siatan nayat yakarata. They say remember that the spine is a spiral and that the hip and pelvis affect the neck. The bottom and the top move in the opposite directions. If the bottom is twisted this way, the neck is twisted that way. As the hip is realigned, the neck is breathing itself into a new place. Same goes for the neck. As the neck releases the twisting tension, the hips realign. The energy flows through the spine like this beautiful DNA spiral. All kinds of flowing movements like the waves, like the leaves, the grasses in the wind, moving this way and that way. Sianakai tiaula tum hayakila. Imana kiana soya tialato ira tayaka shakata. Fariyatwa tiakanata. And remembering for your final message for today that everything is flowing through your heart and your solar plexus. You could see this center as the regulator of the bottom and the top. As you realign the bottom and the top, the energy is flowing through the middle. The middle is your power for this phase, and the light will come through the middle and then move to the bottom and the top. You may even take your focus off the hips and the neck and just put it into the heart and the solar center. the more breath and light you bring here, the more you allow your higher self and teams of light to send you the energy and codes through this space, the more you allow the dissipation of the old and the flow of the new. Remember that you can release energy out through the crown and through the feet and hands. You have much fire to work with. We say, keep working with your fire hands and feet, and allow a fire crown as well. When we say fire, we mean this beautiful multicolored plasma light from higher dimensions, sparkling and expanding. Your guides are saying they will continue sending you this light and these codes as you sleep, if that is okay with you. Wonderful. And as you know, you are so loved.
Thank you.
You have a beautiful bubble of light around you. Allow this light, and allow this light to affect the people and the spaces. We will speak again. Let's do it again soon and check in with this